There are systems that feel unmovable, and healthcare, I feel like the more you're in it, the more it can feel that way, right? It's such a large Byzantine system. Most people have no idea how complicated it is. What gave you the confidence, that you could do something about this?
Yeah, I think that for me, I got to, if we're playing a video game, like I didn't just have the controllers in my hand. I was actually programming the game as we walked, right? So I was in an industry, health tech, 10, 12 years ago, no one knew what this was.
Yep.
And I got to witness folks in positions of power making decisions. And at that time, right, they're literally what we see today did not exist. So I saw people making it up as they went along. And more than that, right? Because I was like, oh, okay, that's how that game is played. I was on the ground doing the work of like designing a product, speaking with clients, getting buy-in, understanding what that was. And so for me, it really came down to like, if I could do this labor for someone else who is making billions of dollars on the backs, right, of like insurance and companies, like, oh, hell no. And then it became like not only can I do this because I wrote the book for my other companies, I wrote the book, right, in terms of what we had been doing. So not only can I do this, I can do it differently. I can do it in a way that elevates, that is not just like extractive, that we're not just taking from communities or people, but we're putting back in, do so with a conscious, and really flip the script is what I was going for.
Yeah, yeah. And one more thing, I relate to you so much. How do you embrace that moment where there's a possibility and there's an excitement, and at the same time there's this sense of obligation, because you also know you are, as far as you know, uniquely qualified and capable with the access to be able to do that? Like, how do you live in that moment? I feel like I'm spending a lot of time in that moment right now. Yeah. How do you every day, and how did you at that moment? I just
Yeah. I mean, at that moment, it literally was my duty. It was my, Assad Shakur says, it is our duty to fight for our freedom. It is our duty to win. And in that moment, right, I started Radical Health while I was on maternity leave. So I had just had my son, and my best friend from high school was also pregnant. And what happened was I had just seen cycles of this where I have a little bit of leverage or privilege, first with my mom, then in my own pregnancy, where I still ended up with a C-section, even though I did all the right things.
Yeah.
But it became a point where it was like, this is my duty. And it is far bigger than me, right? I'm part of the 0.01%, right, of Black CEOs in health tech. But like, this is not even about me anymore. The work that I do, this is a movement. This is almost like a calling. I would imagine, right, Angela Davis, right, isn't like, I'm doing this work just for me. This is a movement work. And so the way that I settle with that is like, everything that I do, right, serves a greater purpose. And it is one, to honor the folks who have come before me that allow me to be here, but to like knock down walls so that everyone else could come behind me and turn this mother up.
Yep.